Now I have the joyful privilege of proposing the name of the new moderator who will take over and render me redundant. The name of the new moderator I'd love to have great pleasure in putting forward to this assembly, proposing to this assembly, is the Reverend Derek Lamont of this Free St. Columba's congregation. Derek's father, Donald, was my first minister and had a huge part to play in bringing Sarah and myself into the Free Church. So, enough from me, but it's a double joy to propose Derek as the new moderator. I think we have a seconder.
Moderator, fathers and brethren, I am thrilled to have the privilege of seconding this motion. Few are given the opportunity to speak in favour of their minister being appointed to the monitorial chair. Fewer still can do that in the church building where they worship, in the new and improved Free St. Columba's this year as well. And the Reverend Derek Lamont, we have a man who is so clearly qualified for the role, not just through his wisdom and his experience, through his vision and through his grace, but particularly through his humility. It's because of his humility that he commands such humble authority of love and respect in our congregation, throughout our denomination, and in many places far beyond, even to the foothills of Mount Everest. And it's because we have a man like this who is prepared to get his hands dirty and to get stuck in, that Derek is the kind of leader that we should have. You will be as likely to find him doing the dishes in St. Columba or sweeping up the floor at the end of an evening as writing a sermon. Derek's leadership is characterised by servanthood and points to the one to whom he serves. Derek is also one of the most organised people I have ever met, and yet he is incredibly practical too. I've observed him find a way in meetings of finding a route through intractable issues to a solution where we can all unite around. If ever there was a man suited for taking on the role of moderator, it is the Reverend Derek Lamont. And indeed, as we know, Derek's grandfather, Reverend Farquhar Matheson, was moderator in 1939. His father, the Reverend Donald Lamont, held the office in 1982. And so I'd invite you to continue that family tradition and appoint Derek as moderator this evening. Scott, Ross, Joe, no pressure. I noticed in the 1982 monthly record that the editor had a fear of Donald Lamont simply trying to do too much, and that could easily be applied to Derek as well. So in supporting this motion, I would ask you to guard Derek in the role, to pray for him and to support him by serving one another and enjoying fellowship with each other at this assembly. When Derek arrived in St. Columba's, he came with the promise that the Lord had many people in this city. And we've seen the Lord's blessing with the hard work of very many people in the congregation. And out in the vanguard, with their openness and with their hospitality and their hard work, has been Derek and Katrina. And so on behalf of my congregation, I would like to take this opportunity to publicly thank Derek and Katrina for all that they mean to us as a congregation, for what they mean to us as a denomination, and how they have served us here in St. Columba. Derek Lamont is a servant of the Lord Jesus Christ, and in my view there is no better man to succeed to the office of moderator. Therefore I am delighted to second this motion.
Are there any other motions? No. Good. Then that becomes the finding of the House.
Moderator, could I ask at this stage that any commissioner who has previously been a moderator to come forward to accompany me to invite Derek?
Do I stay here? By the way, there's no chair for the ex-moderator to sit in. Oh, he told me to come with you. Right. TV program. This would be an advert break, wouldn't it? You know? Yeah, let's see. Derek, I hope you can cope with a big surprise, but the Assembly has agreed that you should be the next moderator. And that's a good word. But in all seriousness, Derek, it gives me huge pleasure to hand over the moderatorial office to you, and know that you'll be supported by Katrina, as I've been so wonderfully supported by Sarah, and to assure you of my prayers, our prayers, and the Assembly's prayers, and to wish you God's blessing, and to make you a blessing to this Assembly and to the church. Thank you. Yeah, let me just...
Thank you. It's an honour and a privilege to be here. Slightly scary, as you said. But John, can I thank you for your kind words? John used to come and visit our house when I was a little boy. I know it's hard to believe, he's so young looking. But he was a minister then, and he used to come and visit our house. He used to stay with us when he came up to committees. The first thing he'd do is he'd go upstairs, and he'd come back downstairs with his slippers on. And he would regale to us stories of Ardnamurk, and we always loved that. And it was always great to have him in our home. So, John, I'm very grateful for your words, and I'm very grateful for this honour. And I crave your prayers and your support and your forgiveness. I'll just get that in already. So any mistakes and errors and procedural faux pas, then I know you will treat me with great dignity and forgiveness. So I now have to moderate. What now, Clark?